What's good, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of the Power 2 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jordan. And for today, I'm only joined with my co-host, DJ.
Hey.
How are we living today?
I am alive. I am well. I have my red wine. Today is a good day.
I do not have my red wine, but it is what it is.
Can't get your shit together, man. No, I'm good. I quit my job. So hey guys, welcome back. It's been 2 weeks. We were having some technical difficulties with our platform that provides our recording abilities.
They were having technical difficulties.
I'm trying to be cute.
We were perfectly fine.
I'm trying to keep it cute, but we're back. And in the 2 weeks since we've been gone, I have quit my 9 to 5. And I'm genuinely excited about it. It feels like a very massive weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So it's a good day. It's a good week. It's a good life.
I have not quit my 9 to 5.
I wouldn't suggest it unless you're like actually stupid, kind of like how I am. But well, is it stupid, delusional? I don't know. Whichever. I'm somewhere on the spectrum between stupid and delusional, but we'll figure it out as we go.
Somewhere on the spectrum of living your dreams is how I would call it.
Period.
You know whose dream is over? Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers retired. His dream of coaching in the NBA is over. Our long national nightmare is over.
20-year-long national nightmare.
It hasn't been 20. I didn't start disliking Doc for until 5 years ago.
Yeah, about 10.
10 for you?
10 years.
Well, actually, never mind. Never mind. I've never liked Doc because he was the coach of the Celtics, and then he tried to redeem himself because I tried to root for everybody black, and then he just kind of was Doc Rivers.
Doc Riversing it up.
Anyone who has listened to any of my podcasts for a while knows that I do not have an association with losers, and Doc Rivers is a loser. So, he lost his way into the Hall of Fame, though. I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago. So good for him.
He's a Hall of Fame coach. He has nothing left to prove.
Yeah, he lost his way into the Hall of Fame, and then he quit on the Milwaukee Bucks, a job that he never should have been offered.
Oh my gosh, talk about it.
Whatever. And other basketball news, because this will be a basketball-heavy show, and by basketball, I do mean the WNBA, but this is NBA news. Wemby becomes the first ever unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. I think we all knew this was going to happen, if not. Actually, I knew this was going to happen before the season started because he finished top 3 the last 2 years in a row. And this is one of them things where it's like, if you keep doing it, you're probably going to get it. This is not to infer that he did not earn it. It's just like, this is his time. There wasn't going to be too many times that he was going to keep not getting it. But the fact that it was unanimous says everything. He earned all 100 first place votes. He beat out Chet Holmgren as the other sort of candidate. He averaged 3.1 blocks per game in 64 games. Huh?
Yes.
There's no way he only played.
Yes.
I thought the minimum was 65.
The minimum is 65. But
this says 64. We don't got to get stuck on this. The NBA's rules are stupid, and they're going to change it.
Maybe the 65th game hadn't been. No, it had to have been.
I don't know, gang. Listen, the NBA is going to change this rule. Nobody knows.
They have to. Yeah.
Nobody knows anything anymore. But
we are all confused. Yes.
He averaged 3.1 blocks per game, and he allowed 10 or fewer points per 100 possessions. Opponent shot 40% on the field against him, which is 8 percentage points worse than average. And he contested 500 shots this season, which, I mean, when he can contest from the bench, he better contest some shots. So shout out to him. He is going to have 5 of these in his career at minimum, as long as he stays healthy, because he's a freaking alien. But shout out to Wemby's first Defensive Player of the Year award and the first ever unanimous DPOY.
Oh my gosh, first ever?
Yes.
Wow, this is real news.
But think about how hard it is to win things unanimously because people are haters. Weren't we all here last year, the year before, mad because Asia Wilson didn't get a unanimous MVP? There was one person who didn't vote for her. That happens all the time. There are so many things where it's just one person who didn't vote. So to get everyone to vote is hard. I think the only unanimous that I can think of, Steph Curry won MVP, Wemby just won DPOY. maybe Asia has won a unanimous one out of her 4,
Her
but like it
MVP
doesn't
was
happen.
unanimous. Yeah,
It
the
doesn't
third
happen, but
one.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the 4th one wasn't.
No, it was not.
I think there was a vote for
Or
like
it's
that
flipped. It's
girl
the
or
4th one
something.
was and the 3rd one wasn't. It's flipped. Either way, one of her 2 recent MVPs was unanimous. I want to say
Yes,
it was
yes,
the
yes,
3rd
yes,
one.
yes. But it is not a thing that happens all the time. In other news,
Oh, well, hold on. Damn. Never mind. Go ahead.
do we have DPOY news?
I was just going to add more factoids, but go ahead.
No, what are we talking? We're talking about Wemby at the beginning of his career.
Yes. Well, basically, I was going to say he's the youngest person to also win this award, and he's the first Spur to win it since Kawhi Leonard, which I think is hilarious considering how Kawhi's career is going right now. But that's all.
In other news, the NBA, the NFL draft, all these ends. The NFL draft is this week, which we
Who
will be
cares?
circling back.
Oh,
I care.
Sorry.
What are we talking about? We do still like football.
We do, but
I don't know when we stop. Like, I know.
Well, I've never liked the NFL draft. To be fair, I've never liked the NFL draft. That has never been an event that has been entertaining to me. Actually, the only draft I actually kind of care about, and even still it's like, is the WNBA draft. I don't care to watch the NBA draft. I don't care to watch the NFL draft.
It is so bad.
It is.
The WNBA draft is terrible.
Horrible production.
For the people who listen to this show, if you have any influence, tell, honestly, The Athletic, hint, The Athletic, because you're one of the people who does this. I need your podcast to do a live show of the draft so I can watch that. I have said this on this podcast.
The offseason did.
During the draft.
Oh, they had a live reaction. I think that it was like a live reaction afterwards. Yeah.
I don't need a reaction.
Yeah.
I need it to be during, because the Athletic Football Show does that for the NFL draft. And then now, because of that, there's another podcast that does it through the NFL draft. And I like to remind you all that I do watch the NFL draft, but I do not watch the TV product. I watch these live podcasts because they tell me who gets drafted without all of the, he was poor, he was broke,
when he was 3,
it's just football analysis. If you are going to watch the draft, you should watch the Athletics Football Show's live draft. And or I think Yahoo Sports has one with Nate Tice. They're good. Nate Tice used to play college football. His dad was a coach. Like, you actually get analysis and not tragic backstory. So it's actually pretty interesting. If you care about the draft, we will circle back because there's a mock. Well, we will circle back because there's a mock draft that we're going to talk about. And in other NFL news, the Bengals traded the number 10 pick for Sexy Dexy, aka Dexter Lawrence.
Not Sexy Dexy.
Yeah. The one and only who has a dance trend on TikTok. The one and only Sexy Dexy.
And
has been traded to the Bengals for the number 10 pick from the New York Giants, for those of you who are unaware. So now the New York Giants have the number 5 and the number 10 pick. Do we have any other news? We don't. All right, so
there's not a lot that's going on. I did see that there's an NFL draft. Speaking of the draft prospect, I will just have to look up his name, who got arrested recently, like literally like yesterday. And the story that's being told is that he was standing on a sidewalk and wasn't responding to commands of the cops telling him to get off the sidewalk, and so they arrested him. Okay. That's all I can say to that is okay, because not moving off of a sidewalk, last time I checked, wasn't grounds for arrest, but apparently it is for the police. I don't know. Walking while black. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like,
because that makes sense. I'm trying to big brain it, and it's just not there.
I'm confused. I am confused. But that's it. Really.
So, okay. As we move forward to our 2-minute warning, that is not what that is called. Oh my God. Our 2-minute drill. We're going to talk about the WNBA draft. And you're going to be like, this is not 2 minutes. Yes, it is, because the different topics are all going to be 2 minutes. So we have 2 questions in the WNBA draft, right? At least I have 2 questions.
Oh, okay.
And you can go first, and then I'll go. We'll go back and forth. WNBA draft happened. It was awful. It did not make sense. None of them have scouting departments.
Not one scouting department is in the room.
Half of the picks didn't make any sense.
Recency bias prevailed.
There are multiple. Oh, sorry. I have 3 questions. There are multiple steals in this draft because who the hell was drafting? We do not know. We do not understand. First question. It can be one or it can be multiple, but no more than three because like more than three, you just liked everything. What are our favorite picks?
Ooh, our favorite picks. I love Cody McMahon to the Washington Mystics. I
Okay.
love it bad. I love Olivia Miles to the Minnesota Lynx. It is gluttony that is described in the Bible, but I
Yes.
do love it because again, Courtney Williams is a good point guard, but she is not a traditional point guard. So it'll be
Mm.
fun to see them slotting Olivia in and out of that. I also love. I'm not going to pick the obvious one. I think we all love AZ to Dallas, but I also love Tanaya Latson to the Los Angeles Sparks.
Ah,
Those are my
you
three.
did you stole one of mine. So I love to I'm not we I guess I'll come up with another one so we have a different one, but the last one you said, Tanaya Watson, was one of mine. I'll talk about her in a second. So I liked our fam to the Storm.
Yeah.
After Chicago didn't do the skyscrapers well, I am just a fan of just having like two big ass bigs, especially
Yeah.
like the W is getting bigger, yes, especially as the girls keep coming, but like there still aren't that many 6'5", 6'6" players, and so for Seattle to get Awa and then
And they
pair
have
them
Dom.
with Dom. Like, I just thought that was interesting. I'm a fan of that.
Well, I have an honorable
Um,
mention also,
I
but go ahead.
liked Flage also to Seattle by way of some bullshit
Backroom
a
bullshit trading.
issue that is an issue that can be fixed. They can change the rule. We were right when we were saying like this has to be like a rule, and basically for the W, there's like a deadline to make trades.
Mm-mm.
And then, like, you can't do what the NFL does, which you can trade on draft day. The W, all trades have to be done
Prior.
before the draft or after. And so
Mm-hmm.
this trade was agreed upon, but it wasn't finalized. And so they couldn't make it official until after. But it led for a lot of confusion. It led for a lot of bullshit. Either way, I'm a big fan of Flage going to Seattle. I think that's a place for her to grow, a place for her to shine, and to, get some things. And then my last one, because you stole the Ty Watson one, I love Medina Okot to Atlanta.
Yes,
She
that's my
does
honorable
not have
mention.
to start, which is good because she wanted to go back to college to continue to grow, but she's going to get to grow and learn from Bree Jones. She's going to get to learn from um, a good developing. She's gonna get to play with Angel.
Angel
Like I
and
think that is
Nas.
a
Yeah.
I think that is a good spot for her. And
And
again, like we talk about it with all the spots and things, the W is not really a developmental league, but for someone like her, this is one of the best spots that you can be because you're at best the third big, possibly the fourth. You are still gonna play, but you don't have the expectation to come in immediately. And like she's gonna be good. She's a good player, but she also has only been playing for 6 years. So like this is gonna give her space to grow and an organization that I think is going to
nurture
really
her.
like support and
Yeah.
nurture her.
She's actually probably going to be the second option because Bree Jones is injured. She just had surgery on her knee. So she's probably actually going to be the second option after Angel if they put Angel in at the 5 and leave Nas at the 4. So
Mm,
she may get a
yeah,
lot more playing time, also just size-wise,
yeah.
than most people in her situation. But she was my honorable mention. I also really, I'm pretty sure what really did it though was when she started knocking down threes late in the season. Carl Smesco saw that and said, "We need her because
Huh.
he
Hold
loves a
on.
big that can shoot threes." Okay,
Wait, what are we doing here?
he said,
We shooting threes?
he said she's knocking down threes
Yeah,
consistently enough. Oh, bring her here. So
yeah.
I love that. I also kind of do love. I love Flau'jae Johnson to Seattle more so because they're treating her like she's like the number one pick, and it is just
Yes.
so cute. If you guys haven't seen the TikTok video of her or whatever social media video of her arriving, and they have like the lettering for her, and they're playing her music and all that. I mean, it was just one of the cutest welcomes to a draftee that I've ever seen. And Flau'jae is also in a very advantageous position as well, because there's not a whole lot of guards in Seattle at the moment that have like
It's
that kind
basically
of
her and
star
Natisha
power.
Heidelman, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's more, but yeah, but that's one thing that's exciting because I know a lot of people were upset that, they were hoping that she would come to the Bay for multiple reasons, for her music career, for all these other things. But the Bay is pretty much a established team. Like, she could have very well got cut. So I'm happy that and the only reason why I say that is because she would be going up against the people who've been in it for a while and who'd already been on the team for a year. So it's just kind of like, and no shade, but like Natalie Nakase clearly has like a version of the team that she wants,
And
and
it's all
and
international
Flau'jae don't
players.
fit. Yeah, like no shade, but I just love that. I love the Seattle fit for Flau'jae. I think the biggest. Oh, well, what are our next questions? I want to go with her.
Biggest question. and we need to limit this because we'll be here for an hour if we don't.
Yes.
But the emphasis on biggest questions, because they're questions galore, if we're being honest.
Screaming. What's the second question?
Well, answer that question.
Oh, that was the. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm reading that
Yeah.
like what? Biggest questions, like biggest question mark, like choices? Is that what that's what we mean by this?
Yeah, it can be anything because I have a question on why the hell that rule exists. Any biggest questions on around the draft?
And my biggest question is, why, dear God, did Raven Johnson have to go to the Fever? My second biggest question is,
We got gluttony in the Bible, Ravens being tested like she's Job. Like, what is
it's
going
just too
on?
much.
Like,
My second biggest question is, why the hell does the Washington Mystics feel the need to hoard all the bigs? And then my next biggest question is, do we really think UCLA was that damn good to have the record for the most first-round picks from any school? Because I don't. Respectfully, I don't. And that's not to say that Lauren Betts and Gabriela Jaquez and Angela Dugalich and all these girls were not good, because they were. But all of them, and Kiki Rice, but like all of them in the first round, all of them.
I'm not going to say no names because I don't want to shade this person personally. I think the 15th pick in the draft was there just so that they could break the record. Like the other ones, I think probably are first round, whatever. Like, I'm not going to get into all this. I'm not going to pretend like I know all the things. I don't like the order almost all of them were taken, but I do think 15 was like,
let's just
get because
I
I'm also think this is the woman who wasn't originally invited to the draft.
She was not invited. No.
One of them, maybe it was Lauren, one of her teammates like gave up seats at her table so her and her mom could come. But regardless, I think
that was Angela Dugalich that had that with whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is UCLA is. I listen. My internet footprint with UCLA is not that great. I'm not. Nobody's confused. I didn't believe in them. Oh well, sue me. But like, the recency bias to me is so loud with the way that this transpired. Like, I don't know, but okay.
Yeah. My biggest question is, how the hell did you look at? I hate doing this because it's just like. I will just say this. My biggest question is, how did Raven Johnson fall to 10? That is how I'll ask that question without calling out names, because I think there are similar players who were taken before her who are lesser versions of her. And I feel like that is insane.
No tea, no shade. I'm going to say it. Kiki Rice should not have gone before Raven Johnson. Sorry.
And or Gabriela Jaquez.
Gabriela Jaquez also names. Should not have gone before
also,
Raven Johnson.
I was trying to protect you
and your
editing.
Should not have gone before Raven either, but it is okay.
Well, you were gonna be. You don't text me mad about editing. I was trying to save names.
It's
and
okay.
You just put the listen. Our editing, our transcript. They do not like names. They do not like names. We have we have to change the names. It's fine.
We've said enough names to where I'm gonna have to edit this regardless. I just said Angela Dugalich at least twice now, so.
3 times.
Yeah,
good luck.
It is what it is.
Raven Johnson, that is honestly, I think that's my biggest question. And then my other question is just like, how? The answer to the how is probably like you're saying, it's just recency bias, but the draft it just didn't make sense. The players who were taken, when they were taken, who they were taken didn't make sense. How Tanaya Lotson fell into like the mid of the second round didn't make sense. There was just a lot of just how did you make this? How did you come to this decision? How did you like scout? Like, this is just how is my second biggest question.
They're not scouting. That's the thing, because there's no scouting departments for real. There's no real scouts. Like, the head coaches themselves and like maybe the AGMs are the ones who are going to these games and being around and, doing the actual research. It's not as organized as the NBA or whatever. They have entire departments dedicated to this. So I'm looking forward to where we get to a point where we actually have a real combine, because I feel like that's also going to be a separator for either those star players who can show those skills in a more meaningful way, or those mid-level players where it's like you like them but you're not entirely sure. It gives them the opportunity to kind of show themselves. And I think that's kind of where the NBA needs to start. The WNBA needs to start moving towards, is having an organized combine to give a real opportunity for players to be evaluated. That's not just based on how they're particular team did in the postseason. So,
I
because
tend
to
to.
me, being on a team, because Raven was in the championship, Flage was not, respectfully. And I get that now there's also like and Olivia, but we knew Olivia was going high regardless. And I know that there's also going to be focus on international players as well and slotting them in. And I think that a combine would also be valuable for international players as well. So we can get eyes on them that's not from just like knowing them from the Olympics or from FIBA. So anyway,
Yeah, there's just not enough time in that calendar.
there
They
is
need
not
to
enough
make
time.
time in that calendar.
There's not, nope. Yeah.
All right, so final question in our 2-minute drill that is not going on for 2 minutes. And to be clear, the 2-minute drill is 2 minutes per topic, not 2 minutes total. Don't get that mixed up. 2-minute drill, our final question for the 2-minute drill. Biggest steals. I have 2. I don't know about you.
Have 2 as well. I might have more
Sorry,
than
I have
2.
3. I have 3.
I was about to say, I think I might have more than 2. My first one is Marta Suarez to Seattle. I think they have a good one with Marta because they can slot her in at the 4, so they don't even have to worry about the whole, we got another, like, big thing because, like, technically, comparatively to Awa and Dom, like, and Ezzy, like, she's going to be better off as a 4 or a 3 anyway, and she can shoot. So I think that's a really great steal. That's a good steal for them. I also feel like, what's her name? Where'd she go? I was just looking at her.
Also, Marta is Golden State.
I'm
That was
sorry.
the
Golden
trade,
State.
yeah.
You're right. Same thing. This is the same concept though, because they have Kayla, but I don't think Kayla's starting the season yet. And then Mo is gone, so she has like space to actually be able to be useful there. My bad. I did totally say that wrong. The other steal, and the only thing is, I'm like, I don't know if she's actually going to make the roster, but I feel like she might. Janiyah Barker to the Aces. Love that. I think that's a great place for her to develop if she actually makes the roster.
Yeah, that was one of mine.
Oh, sorry.
Do you have one more?
And then Rory Harmon to the Mystics.
That was also one of mine.
Sorry, I'm what? Oh,
So
fuck.
we are group thinking. We are the power of 2 brains for one. The last one that I have, although you already mentioned her, but I said I would bring her up a little bit later, and this is where I was going to bring her up.
Sorry.
Taniyah Lotson to the Sky. Right? She went to the Sky.
The Sparks, honey.
Oh, okay. Listen. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out these logos because on
The Sparks and the Sky logo are very different.
Hold on. On ESPN, the logo is super, super small. Like, it is so small. Like, you can't actually see it, and it doesn't say the team name. And so I'm like, sorry, doesn't matter. Taniyah Lotson to the Spark, which thankfully, because I'm so tired of the Sky right now. But I think that's going to be a steal. You already mentioned Rory. Like, Rory is so underrated. I think that she's going to be huge, especially as a 3rd round. I think Rory's going to make the roster, but even if not, she's going to do development and get on the roster. Eventually, I think she's going to have a really long career. So
I think she's going to make the roster because who's their point guard? They don't have one. If you sign Natasha Cloud and stuff.
Well,
but anyways, I'm pretty sure they don't actually have like a point guard for real.
Well, that's even a bigger steal because if they get their starting point guard in the third round, that's insane.
Yeah, well, because they have Georgia Amor, so I'm sure Georgia will probably start over her. But Georgia is still, quote unquote, technically coming off an injury, although she said she's been ready for some time. But I can't. I don't know who their veteran. They don't have a veteran point guard at the moment. So it would be a 1-2 punch between Georgia and Rory. I don't see why Rory wouldn't make that roster. The people who are going to lose out in Washington, unfortunately, are the bigs.
Yeah,
that's who's getting cut.
Everybody's getting.
And Cody McMahon also has ball handling skills as well, so she could be like a bigger version of their point guard too. So that's what I'm kind of like. The people who are going to be bounced up out of there are the bigs. I think the only one who's a lock right now for the roster is Lauren Betts. I don't know about the rest of them, respectfully. And I think Lauren Betts is going to make the roster because no one's passing up on 6'7".
Like,
no one's passing up on 6'7", so
we're not doing that. But so we will be back because this is going to be a WNBA heavy show, but we are going to move on to another draft, 2-minute drill, and this may actually be 2 minutes because I don't know.
I'm sorry, I started yawning at the worst time.
That is insane. The disrespect to the NFL right now will not be forgiven. It will not easily be forgotten.
The NFL pissed me off with the draft last year. I don't even know if I care this year. Like, just let me know when they start playing, child. I don't know.
What happened? Why are you mad?
Shador.
Oh.
I was
Shador
mad.
was a 5th-round pick. I don't
That's
care. We don't
bull.
have to talk about
I
that.
would never not be pissed off about that.
Listen, that's fine. I will not relitigate that with you. I think the biggest problem is that they ever said he was a 1st-round pick, because then they got a lot of people in their mentions and in their feelings because everyone liked him, which I think he's nice. Everyone loves his dad. He was never a 1st-round
That's
pick.
his dad.
They set him up for failure. I am very happy for him that he is going to get the chance to prove himself. I think he's going into the season as the Brown starter. I
Yeah.
unfortunately do have to believe that he will not be that good, but I hope that he proves me wrong, because I want him to succeed. I think the hate on him is unjustified,
There we go.
but I do not think that he was ever a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd-round pick. I think he got picked when he should have got picked. Respectfully, I watched him play a lot. He wasn't that good.
Okay, so let's talk about this year's NFL draft.
NFL draft. We will run through this very quickly because DJ doesn't care.
No, we can talk about it. I just don't have a lot to add. Like, I don't have.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
just wanted to run through the mock draft and like highlight some of the picks that I thought were interesting, but like it's a mock draft. The draft is going to happen. Next week is going to be an NFL heavy show because we'll have the full draft. This is
And
only
now
a
it's like
first
I'm not
round
even
mock.
rooting for that child, so it's just.
Right. So number 1, we all know, is going to be Fernando Mendoza to Las Vegas Raiders. Number 2, the Jets. They have David Bailey, which I think is interesting because for a lot of people, they had Arvell Reese. This draft includes what the? This is fantasy. This is fantasy. I like this one. This one includes trades. So this one has the Kansas City Chiefs trading up all the way to number 3 to get Arvell Reese. Pray for the league if that happens.
Oh my God, we need to pray for the league regardless, but yes.
Yeah.
We need to pray for the league regardless with the Chiefs. Like, they let everybody go to the Chiefs. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, like if
in
Chiefs
free
get
agency?
Arvell Reese, like what are we talking
What
about?
is happening?
Like, that
you want to talk about a damn
fair.
dynasty? Like, what? Don't piss me off.
4, we have Tennessee Titans getting the best linebacker project in a very long time. I do not want to call him generational, but he's close. He's the best linebacker prospect we've seen in a very long time, Sonny Styles.
Love that for
and
him.
It's not because he's at Ohio State. It is just genuinely true that he is. New York Giants getting also one of the best safety prospects, and not as long, because we've had Minka and we had that boy who's on the Ravens who was very, very good. I can't think of his name right now.
Not that boy who's on the Ravens.
We've actually had some like really good safeties in like the last 10 years. Caleb Downs is another one, number 5 to the Jets. Damn, they have 4 straight Ohio State picks. Number 6, Cleveland Browns, Carnell Tate, wide receiver. Jeremiah Love going to the Commanders at 7. Ruben Bain going to the Saints at 8. I think that's interesting.
The Commanders have the 7th pick.
Yeah. They had a bad year because the quarterback kept getting injured. Number 9, Arizona Cardinals, Francis Mauiaga from Miami. That would give them a really, really good offensive line to figure out who the hell is their quarterback. I think they're just doing a 1-year thing and trying to get a quarterback next year. Then they have Keldrick Falk, defensive end from Auburn, going to the Giants at 10. Mansour Delane going to the Heat. He's a corner. Dallas Cowboys getting
Heat, Jordan going to the Dolphins.
I'm trying to do this in 2 minutes, man. People are going to be like 2 minutes. So people are going to tell us to change the segment because it doesn't last 2 minutes. I'm trying to get through it. Miami Dolphins, Mansour Delane. Dallas Cowboys, Gerard McCoy. How do you feel about a corner? Very quickly.
I don't feel anything about the Dallas Cowboys. Next.
Understood. Denzel Boston going to the Rams at 13. Baltimore Ravens getting Spencer Fano. He's an offensive lineman. That makes sense. Philadelphia Eagles getting Monroe Freeland. He's an offensive lineman. That also makes sense because they're getting a lot of retirees.
Yeah,
New York Jets getting Jordan Tyson at wide receiver. I think he's the 2nd best wide receiver in the draft. Detroit Lions getting a offensive lineman that I've never heard of. I will call him Max.
Yeah,
something.
What is his last name?
I don't know. I also didn't know that he existed. Minnesota Vikings getting Caden McDonald, defensive tackle, Ohio State. They do need that. Carolina Panthers getting Dylan Thieneman, safety from Oregon. Dallas Cowboys have another pick?
Via the Packers. Yes.
Oh, yeah, because they traded their franchise player. That did happen.
Yes.
Akeem Mesidor, edge from Miami.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers getting offensive lineman from Penn State. I will not try to do that name because I don't want to disrespect him. 22, Los Angeles Chargers getting Peter Wood from Clemson. Boo. no disrespect for Peter Woods. This is a pick where they're like, he used to be good. And it's like, yeah, but he hasn't been good in 2 years. Are you really going to give a first round pick for him? Whatever. It's not
Yes.
my pick. Tampa Bay getting Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. He is very good. We've had a crazy year with tight ends in the last 3 years. Just like really crazy, like athletic, good tight end. Cleveland Browns getting Cater Proctor, offensive tackle. Damn, that'd be good for the Browns if they get a wide receiver and an offensive tackle. Like that's a good draft for them.
Yeah.
Bears getting Caleb Lomu, also an offensive tackle. Bills getting CJ Allen, linebacker from Georgia. I think he's solid. San Francisco 49ers getting Blake Miller, offensive tackle from Clemson. They need that because their offensive line is also retiring and getting old and injured. Houston, oh my God, so many offensive linemen in the back of the draft.
I'm saying
Houston
it's offensive lineman day.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Houston Texans getting Chase Besantes, offensive lineman from Texas A&M.
Oh, hell no.
Not.
Oh, hell no. I'm interrupting you to tell you about the next pick. Kansas City Chiefs via the Los Angeles Rams. KC Concepcion, bro, get out of town. First of all, KC Concepcion going that far down is kind of surprising to me. I have a feeling.
It's not to me, but yeah.
I feel like he might go sooner. No? We wouldn't want Casey. Do we think Casey Concepcion is going to fall all the way down to the 29th pick? I mean, I guess based on team needs, yeah. But
yeah, it's a team needs
thing.
It's a team
needs
it's
thing.
not
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he's
yeah.
not
It's not
good,
a skill
but
thing.
it's
Yeah. You're right. But going to the Kansas City Chiefs, again, the gluttony that we are talking about that exists in the Bible. Now, mind you, he would have to fight for his playing time a little bit, but
not the way they keep trying. Not the way their wide receivers keep going to jail.
But also, they have the same problem that Georgia has. So I don't know. I don't know. That might be a good. I just had to interrupt our programming because yes, this is a very I mean, we got to keep it funky with y'all. This is not a quarterback draft sort of year. Like it's just not giving that, right? So we're just going to see a lot more picks being used, first round picks being used on.
And it is so crazy because I don't like doing this, but I was like, this year's quarterback draft is going to be better than last year's. That's what I said. I believe that in my heart of hearts. And then every good quarterback in this year went back to college. I was not wrong. I was just early because who thought they were all going to go back to college? Like every single draft eligible quarterback who should have been in this draft went back to college. And now I'm just like, well, the quarterbacks are still good. They're just not in the draft. Like I thought Arch was going to come out. I thought the kid from South Carolina was going to come out. I thought Dylan Raiola has another year. He can't come out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, it was a bunch of names and like every single one.
I mean, the niggas are fighting for 18 years of eligibility. Yeah, they're not trying to go to the league.
like nobody. So never wrong, just early. Next year is going to be good, but it's also going to be someone is going to get an NFL starter in the second or third round. You heard it here first, because there is going to be a disgusting number of quarterbacks in next year's draft, because you're going to have the ones who run out of eligibility naturally. You're going to have the ones who should have been in this draft and waited, and then you're always going to have one or two super seniors like who come out of nowhere, whatever. There's going to be like 5 first-round picks, quarterbacks next year, and there's going to be a disgusting number taken. Someone's going to get it started in the second round. You heard it here first on the Power 2 Podcast, presented by Defensive Sports Network.
I was like, on what? Where were we? No, yeah. Anyway, sorry. This is just, that was crazy. That just had to throw that out there. But yes.
Miami Dolphins wide receiver Mekhi Lemon, that is a steal. If you don't know anything about Mekhi Lemon, he's good. He's going to be, he's essentially... He's a slot
receiver, right?
Yes, but he's essentially, what's the boy from for those of you, y'all know I'm not always good with names. The boy from the Detroit Lions who dyed his hair blue. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh,
he's
I
basically
never came to that name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. New England Cheaters for many reasons. TJ Parker, Eds Clemson. Seattle Seahawks, Avion Terrell, cornerback Clemson, because they need more defenders. That is the most recent mock draft. The draft starts on Thursday. It goes until whenever it goes.
Oh my gosh, why is it so many days? See, this is why I can't.
Well, most people only care about the first day. But
which is
if
why
you don't want to watch the
days.
oppression, well, it's 7 rounds.
I know, it's 43 days. I still said what I said.
It's 3. If you don't want to watch the Oppression Olympics, you can watch any of the live podcasts. I do hate to promote other podcasts, but I am only doing this to save you from the NFL broadcast, which is absolutely disgusting and gross. The Athletic Football Show has a live draft show. If you're going to watch the draft, you should watch that. We are moving on to a new-ish segment that is going to be one of your favorites, DJ's Download. What are we talking about?
Oh my gosh, welcome to DJ's Download, where we talk about, I don't know, stuff I'm interested in. That is pertinent to women's basketball. This is going to be very, very short because I feel like
Is it always going to be women's basketball?
not always, but women's sports in general.
Okay.
This is going to be very, very short because I want to move on. Actually, this is not on the show plan. What is on there, I'm going to move it down.
All right.
The women's gymnastics NCAA tournament was so entertaining. Oh my gosh. If you are a person who watches the Olympics, specifically to watch gymnastics, which I have been for a very, very long time, it wasn't until recently that I watched the Summer Olympics and I started watching other events, i.e., surfing and skateboarding and all the other bullshit. And basketball, of course, we always watch basketball, but most people like to watch the Summer Olympics for gymnastics. Oh my gosh, you can get it all. You can get it every year if you watch NCAA women's gymnastics. There's men's too, but
Well,
anyway, child. So it was very, very entertaining. It was Jordan Childs' last go around with UCLA.
my namesake.
Period. It was her last go around with UCLA. She won the all around floor. She's the all around floor champion. Not all around. She's the floor champion. She's not all around champion. Sorry. But she set a record for the most perfect tens by a single athlete this year, and she just had, to me, one of the best farewells that you could possibly have, really, in college sports in general. The only thing that I guess would have made it better is if UCLA would have gotten a couple more points to get to the championship. They unfortunately got their asses kicked on vault. And then when they got to the vault, the last girl in the rotation, or the second to last girl in the rotation, not only did she not stick her landing, she actually fully fell. So that was not that was not what we needed. They needed the points and they didn't get it. But that was just thoroughly entertaining. The biggest thing that I will say, and this should not be a shock to anyone, is that I'm not the biggest fan of the broadcast times, but I do understand because I think the meets are like 3 hours. So the semifinals, there was one broadcast that was at 4 o'clock on a Thursday, and then they had a second broadcast the same day at 9 o'clock, where they had the top 8 teams. So it was not ideal. 4 o'clock on a Thursday is not an ideal time to start, but I get why, because it's 3 hours. Love that it was on ESPN. Love that it was not buried somewhere in some random streaming service. It was on ESPN. Sorry, cars. But yeah, that's my download. Is if you haven't gotten into women's gymnastics, I highly suggest it. It does run during women's basketball, but I think that they stagger the schedule enough to where you could watch both if you wanted to.
Boom. Moving on to our power sweep. Shocking. We are going to be talking about women.
Oh my God. What? Women again?
Describing this podcast is so funny to people because it's like in the fall, it is just so football dominated. And then as soon as football ends, it's just a women's show.
It really is.
And it's hilarious because how does that make sense? We don't know. I'm also going to step away for half a second because my light's not on. So DJ, take us away. Our power sweep is going to be a comprehensive WNBA update starting with free agency. And I would just like to tell you, if you did not know, the girls are getting paid. DJ, how much are the girls getting paid? They're getting paid a lot.
Millions.
Millions.
Not millions.
Big M's.
Millions.
Big
not the little
M's,
ones.
not the little. Big
I
zeros.
got a really big team. They got some really big rings. We learned some really nice things. Better be coming with no strings. Like
stop playing. No strings attached, but fully guaranteed. Don't piss me off. What do we say? Don't piss me off. It's too late. But
piss me off.
do not piss me off. DJ, please update us on the free agencies of the agencies of the agents of the women.
Agencies. The agents who are getting paid as well. Right. So basically, we started with Angel Reese obviously making that big splash of being traded to the Atlanta Dream. Love that for her. And then it was quiet for a couple of days.
Whoa.
What?
I'm sorry. I just cannot stop talking about Angel to the Dream. Did you watch the video that I sent you?
I did not watch it, but I've heard about it. Like, I've heard other people talking about it. And I know that the GM, the president of the Atlanta Dream, has already spoken so very highly of Angel. Angel even said in her introductory press conference that one of the biggest things she's excited about is having a GM that believes in her. It's just fabulous.
I'm going to play like 30 seconds of this because this video is like 5 minutes long, but you all need to hear this. This is how you talk about a player. This is leadership. I am so locked in on the Dream.
Everybody stop.
All right.
Everybody stop. Breaking news right the fuck now. Everybody stop talking. Sorry. If you don't know, Audie Crooks entered the transfer portal. You should know. If you listen to this show, you should know that Audie Crooks entered the transfer portal because we talked about this. We didn't know where she was going to end up. There was news on one point that said she was going to OU. It just came out a couple days ago. She's actually committed to Oklahoma State. Let me tell you, you want to talk about millions? $1.4 million is what that girl is getting from Oklahoma State. That makes her the third highest paid women's basketball player in the world. Not in college, in the world, behind, you guessed it, Asia Wilson and Aaliyah Boston. Are you dumb? $1.4 million.
You know,
for a girl who can't play defense. We love to see it, truly.
You know, I'm just gonna say congratulations. I don't believe in pocket watching. This is the Power 2 show, not the Power of Pocket Watching show. All right. I will just say congratulations to that and keep it pushing. But this is how you talk about someone, especially one Angel Reese.
Up to get out there on the court. Everyone is so fired up to see what the dream will be able to accomplish this season because you've already done so much in the offseason. We'll start with Angel Reese, the blockbuster deal that brings her here to Atlanta. What a move for this organization and the seismic activity that was felt in the W after it was announced. What was the reaction that you felt from people in and outside of your building after this was announced?
Well, seismic is a really great word because when it was announced, obviously there was a core small team in the office that knew it was happening, but none of the rest of the office knew it.
Wow.
And when the article came out first, I just saw heads popping up around the office saying, oh my God, is this real? Is this real?
Cool.
And then 40 people come running around to the office and they're dancing and doing their TikToks and all the things. And it was just the most special atmosphere. But then when you started to see social and what was happening, we looked back and we tracked it. But yet, as you saw within the opening
I'm skipping ahead.
Around the Atlanta dream right now. And it's not easy. It's not like that was built overnight. You've been working really hard for years. Tons.
Well, you know, we have been under new ownership, the court and in the community. It takes action. But what's amazing, and we tracked it, and it was...
Okay, I'm not going to find what I was looking for.
The point is they're really excited to have Angel.
Yes.
And
they talk. I wish I could find it. I'd have to mute myself. They talked about what Angel brings. Oh, actually, hold on.
For Angel coming to this city. And that's truly special when you think about someone who belongs here, a city who wants to embrace her, and a city who just loves what we're doing already.
It's funny because in her opening press conference, she said, look, I think Atlanta speaks for itself. To me, Atlanta and Angel Reese click so seamlessly, and it makes so much sense.
I love how they're saying, they're finding a lot of ways to say, like, this nigga city loves an Angel Reese.
Yeah.
I love that they're finding other ways to say it.
Dream stands for. But what's amazing is that we have built this brick by brick by brick. And Angel has built her own game brick by brick, her brand brick by brick by brick. And she is so additive to what we've already got here and so humble to be here. She's an icon already, but yet, as you saw within the opening press conference, she kept tossing it to everyone else. And that's what I love. That is an embodiment of what Atlanta stands for. And it really is an embodiment of what this team stands for. And Angel just came in and fit right in.
Angel?
That is how you talk about one Angel Reese. There has been so much negative about her. Meanwhile, everyone loves her. Anyone who meets her loves her. Everyone on Team USA, she's always on all the TikToks. They're always talking about it. She bonded with so many people at Unrivaled. She immediately, literally, they talk about it later on in this video that Ryan Howard was advocating for them. Ryan Alicia
Howard
was
is a recruiter, okay?
Was in her comment. Like, that is what not only Angel deserves, but that's what a lot of people deserve. It's just like we mentioned with Flage, how Seattle was talking about her, like how Minnesota's talking about Olivia Miles, but that has not always happened, and it definitely does not happen with certain fan bases. But for Angel specifically, with all of the hate that she has gotten and all of the racist remarks and all of this sort of things, to have an organization that is that bought in, but also recognizes her as a brand and what she can bring to the city and her impact. But then, and later on, they talk about the fact, the coaching and how they're ready to develop her. And I think one of the comments that they made is Angel's already a star, but she wants to get better. So many people talk about Angel and just talk about, oh, she needs to do this, she needs to do this, she needs to do this. And the Atlanta Dream president is Angel is already great, and she wants to get better. That is how you talk about those players, because no, great doesn't mean you stop getting better. But so many people have talked about her and immediately go to critiquing her game.
I mean, even Jeff said she needed to do more. I'm like, how does she need to do more when she's getting triple doubles? What else is there to do?
So I just had to pause on that and just talk about, because it's great. It was seismic, so much for the W, all these sort of things, but the way that she has immediately been accepted by the team and the players, and for the president to talk about it like that is big for me. Because one, let's be honest, a lot of presidents are white and they don't talk about athletes like that in general, especially the black ones. Like, so just in
Yeah, but
sports
the
in
dollar
general, to
signs that
have
they see
someone
is
that is true. That is true.
the
Like
dollar signs is what it's giving.
that is true. So I just thought that was
Yeah.
cool. Please
Yes.
continue with our free
We talked
agency
about this
update.
2 weeks ago, so please. Okay, so because there's a lot
We
to
didn't have
cover.
that video 2 weeks ago.
Yes, but I'm saying we did talk about Angel 2 weeks ago. Okay, so we got to rapid fire this. Okay, so basically the first person to sign a regular max deal was Jackie Young. She signed that, I think, a couple days after it was announced that Angel got traded, and she signed a 1-year, $1.19 million deal with the Aces. A lot of people were concerned about whether or not the Aces would be able to maintain their core. We now know that they were, with Asia Wilson signing the largest at the time contract in the WNBA, where she had 3 years, $5 million. She will always get 20% of the salary cap, no matter what it is. It does not increase incrementally like a lot of other contracts, hers being the first of its kind. Now, of course, a lot of people have followed suit since then. Enter Aaliyah Boston, who basically did the same thing. It's just that her contract is 4 years, $6.3 million. So she is now currently the highest paid WNBA player ever, and currently. Then, as we move forward.
Well, so she doesn't make 1.4 right now.
Not right now, no, but the whole contract itself is 6.3.
Yeah.
Then as we move forward, it became clear to a lot of people that Nneka Ogwumike will not be returning to the Seattle Storm. There was a very, very big dramatic thing that happened on the internet where a balloon company posted a display that they were doing for the Minnesota Lynx, which was a welcome sign for Nneka during her official visit to the Lynx. And everybody took that to mean that Nneka was signing with them. Oops. That's not what happened. Nneka is actually returning to her home, the Los Angeles Sparks, I think she only signed for a year. Then moving forward, we have a couple other things to note. Marina Mabrey, Brittany Sykes both signed with the Toronto Tempo. They were drafted in the expansion draft, but Marina is getting 2 years, $2.4 million. And they were the first $1 million backcourt pairing in the WNBA, so love that for them. A majority of the Atlanta Dream obviously returned, so we do have Bree Jones back, Naz Hillman, Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard. All of them said, yes, we're absolutely coming back. Jewel Lloyd, of course, signed a 3-year deal. That's going to be $2.2 million with the Aces. I do believe she's probably going to retire from the Aces at this point. Arike Ogunbowale, this was the most surprising one to me.
Yes.
She signed a multi-year deal with the Dallas Wings. She was eligible for the Supermax, but she took less so that way the Wings could build a stronger team, but she's still getting paid quadruple or whatever she was getting prior to that. I think the thing that's just the most interesting is that it's for multiple years. I thought if she was going to sign a max deal with them, she was only going to sign a 1 year and get the hell up out of there. But I think Kurt Miller being the GM now and what he's already done in the offseason, even prior to drafting AZ, very much shows how important Arike is to him and how important Arike is to the Dallas Wings organization. If you're a new fan, you may not know, like, Arike's been here for some time, and she's had to deal with GM changes, coaching changes, everybody being injured, herself being injured, all kinds of things. And the Dallas Wings were a playoff team in her first, 2 or 3 years playing there. But they fell off. That's how we ended up with 2 draft picks back to back. So I'm just very excited that they're honoring her. They're giving her a great contract, but they're also honoring her by building a team that can actually yield some good results and puts her in a place where she gets to play within position again, because she had been playing out of position as the point guard this entire time. So
yeah, and you can't say that it's 100% that, but her taking a discount did lead to them signing Alana Smith, the co-defensive player of the year from last year,
and Jessica Shepard.
But
and Alicia Clark. And I mean, we got some good vets.
And
we got some good vets.
They had one of the better off seasons. I mean, it's hard to say you had a great off season when fucking New York and Las Vegas are doing biblical level gluttony, and then Atlanta Dream get Angel Reese. Like, the best you can do is vie for 4th.
Yes,
but they had a good a strong off.
I think the Dallas Wings are definitely in the turn it around era right now. We are not in rebuild. We are turning this shit around, and we're doing it right now. This is not giving, we're going to, use some picks and we're going to develop. No, we're trying to turn it around immediately. And I love that. Speaking of turning around, Brittany Griner did an about face, and she is going to the Connecticut Sun. It should not be confusing to anybody why she is doing this. She's playing at the Connecticut Sun so that way she can retire a Houston Comet. Let's keep it real. So she signed She signed a 7-figure deal with the Connecticut Sun. She will be there. The term was later announced that it's only for 1 year. But I do believe she's going to re-sign once the Connecticut Sun officially become the Houston Comets, and then she will be retiring from there. I wouldn't be surprised any other way. If you guys don't know, Brittany Griner is from Houston. So that just makes perfect sense.
I did not know that. So
yes, Brittany Griner is from Houston. She's a Texas girl.
yeah.
And then we
you told me that like a week or two ago, I think.
Yes, she is a Texas girl. So she wanted to stay in Texas. That's how she ended up at Baylor. So then moving forward into some other elements, De'Arca Hamby's returning to the Los Angeles Sparks, but Azurá Stevens made her exit. She signed a 3-year deal with the Chicago Sky, which brings me to the Chicago Sky going out of their way to piss me off because they got Rakia Jackson, Azurá Stevens, Skylar Diggins, and Dejanay Carrington after they traded Angel Reese. Okay.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel like Angel was like, yeah, we could like build this thing. And they said,
I think she did say that. They said, no, you're suspended, is what they did.
Shut up and dribble. Actually, don't even dribble. You can't play.
Sit down. Yep.
And then they go and do it. And
players who Angel Reese fans would have been chuffed to watch her play with. But whatever, I digress. Now, speaking of Azurá Stevens, Courtney Vandersloot said something real weird in the press like yesterday, I believe, where she basically implied that Azurá has a lot to prove because the team is paying her so much.
That is pseudo GM Courtney Vandersloot, because I don't know if you saw that. They said that they have been asking her
about
opinion
decisions
on all of the moves.
Yes, and the thing is, Courtney, if you want to be in the front office, girly pop, do that. Like, that's okay. But to talk in the press about your own teammate about what she needs to do because of how much she's getting paid. Girl, what do you need to do? You're 38 years old.
Like, we pocket watching? That's crazy.
Anyway, and I'm not trying to talk about the legendary Courtney Vandersloot. I just thought that was a really weird thing. But Anyway, speaking of legendary, New York is what they're trying to be. They want to be legendary because they got Satou Sabally as if they didn't already have Stewie and JJ. No, they need Satou as well. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, she gets to play with her sister again. Y'all aren't paying attention. Nayara Sabally is now in Toronto. Y'all are not paying attention. So Satou is now going to be in New York with Stewie, with Sabrina, with Jonquel Jones. Why am I saying all those names? Because all of those people re-signed for ridiculous contracts. Stewie signed for a contract where she gets 17% of the cap every year for the next 3 years, I believe. And Sabrina Ionescu signed basically the same deal. She also gets 17%. So that's 34% of the cap already gone to 2 players. Don't know if that's going to be a smart decision moving forward, but that's where we're at the moment. Jonquel Jones also signed for a multi-year deal, so they have their core. They've added Satou. They also still have Leonie Fibic. They also still have Nigel Laney Hamilton. I don't have to name any more people. Back to the whole competing for 4th thing.
Yeah, squad.
It's going to be a squad.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting to see how they were ranking their stars. Basically, they view like Saab and Stewie at the same level, and then they view Jonquel as their 3rd. They all signed the max, not the super max. They all signed the regular max. The difference is Jonquel only she gets a 5% increase. So where Stewie,
hers is structured the same way.
Asia and Sabrina and Aaliyah Boston, for some reason, theirs are tied to a percentage. So every year they get 20% for Aaliyah and Asia, 17% for Stewie and Sabrina. Hers is the regular max plus a 5% increase, which is a more traditional contract. And actually, that's even a little bit not traditional because most contracts are fixed. There's not always like a percentage increase. But I just wanted to highlight that because the tie to the percentage is really unique. And we thought that it was only going to be Asia, and then 3 people did.
Everybody's like, I want to do that too.
That is how they rank their stars. 2 people are tied specifically at 17, and then Jonquel gets the max with 5% increases each year.
And then speaking of the max, Kelsey Plum did something really, really funny, and we have to love it. She signed for $999,999 with a 1-year deal with the Los Angeles Sparks. A lot of people saying it's more of like a tax implication that she did that, but I just think that's really, really funny, which is also why I think Tanaya Latson is a steal in the draft because she gets to play with the undersized, high-level scoring guard, which is very much what she is, and I think that that's going to be absolutely phenomenal for her development. Moving forward, Gabby Williams was another big one. She was looking like she was going to stay with the Seattle Storm to the point where it was actually in the news cycle that she had signed with them, but she actually didn't. She is going back to her hometown of the Bay, where she signed with the Valkyries for multiple years as well. Love that for her. Other big names, other big signings. Of course, there were many that happened, but the biggest thing obviously was Angel Reese moving around and what the Chicago Sky were doing. Megan Gustafson won't be on the Las Vegas Aces anymore. If you guys don't know, she's the white girl with the dark hair who played behind Asia. She's going to the she's going to Portland Fire. The Phoenix Mercury were able to retain most of everybody. They kept Ka, they kept Dewana, they kept AT, they kept Sammy Wickham. Those were kind of the ones who drove most of their success. Kasatu wasn't even really all that healthy last year to really play for real, and then she did, and then she got another injury, which I hope is not her story in New York, because girl, we are going to have to start to justify what you're getting paid. Let's see, who else? Lots of other movements. Shakira Austin was flirting with moving to the Toronto Tempo, but she is staying at the Mystics, which is why the Mystics drafting so many damn bigs doesn't make sense, because Shakira is there, Kiki is there. Steph Dolson did leave, but now they've gotten Lauren Betts and insert 55 other names. I'm like, y'all can't all be there, but ciao anyways. Timmy Fagbenle, at least I was worried about last year because she signed with Golden State, did really well, and then they waived her, and she kind of like was on the wings a little bit, and then she got signed on a couple of hardship contracts. She got signed for $1 million by the Toronto Tempo. We're going to see if she's actually worth that. And I think the biggest thing that thrilled me in this entire free agency, actually the two biggest things, Odyssey Sims has a fucking contract that is not 10 days long. We love to see it. So she signed a 1-year deal with the Dallas Wings. She's been with the Wings before. I think she's going to fit in the system very well. We need more guards. She is a point guard, technically. So we get to kind of relieve AZ and Paige of the point guard facilitation, because she's a pro. She's a vet. She's been in it since 2014. So that's really exciting to have her presence there. And then, of course, another exciting thing for me is that Kennedy Carter is returning to the WNBA. She's been signed by the Las Vegas Aces. And again, back to gluttony, because the Aces don't need her.
No.
The Aces do not need her. But one of the things that I thought was absolutely brilliant, and Jordan actually sent me a video about this, but I was already aware, is that Teresa Weatherspoon is actually the one who made the call on behalf of Kennedy Carter to let Becky Hammon know, hey, girl, she's one of them. And Becky said, bet. Because Becky just wants to win. So I also think that Becky Hammon is the best coach for Kennedy Carter, because she's going to be able to give her the type of tough love that kept her in check that Teresa Witherspoon was giving her. So anyways, that's pretty much the overview. Fee obviously signed with the Lynx again. She only signed for 1 year, which I think is raising a lot of question marks for people. But I think she did that on purpose, just simply because she's not going to be playing most of this year, for keeping it real. But also, who knows how much the cap will increase, and maybe it's just going to be more advantageous for her to look at long-term deals when she's playing again. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, we already talked about AB, but the biggest other newsworthy thing that happened is that AB surpassed Asia Wilson for the biggest contract. We talked about that already. And we just love that Dawn Staley's kids are the highest paid athletes in the WNBA. Period.
We do. I do think it, like, that is so interesting with the way that the cap is done, but also them only having 12 people, like how close in salary people are.
12
like,
people and 2 developmental players.
Yeah, so it's just like there really wasn't another number that you could give Aaliyah Boston, but it does kind of feel wrong for Aaliyah Boston to be making the same amount as Asia, but it is what it is. The only thing that I have to say about them is I like what the Liberty did better, because essentially, and we do not have to spiral on this because our opinions are well stated. If that girl comes up for a contract and she has not entirely flamed out, and I use entirely because it has to be other people's opinions, not the opinion of the Power 2 podcast, they are also going to have to give her 20% of the cap. And 2 at 34 is fine.
2 at 40? Let's be serious. Let's be serious.
I don't like that.
You got to pay 10 other hoes.
Yeah, their absolute best bet is that she does not qualify for the Supermax, but I'm pretty sure she just needs like one more All-Star to do it. So
she'll qualify for the Supermax because she'll be in her 4th year at that point.
That's not how you qualify for it, though.
But she would have already... if she plays the entire season, she will be forced into that MVP conversation in a way that's going to be absolutely disgusting. So
which is
that's
why
where
I
I'm going
say
with
their
that.
best
And she
hope
will be
is
all
that she
WNBA, and
does
she will
not.
be, yeah, she's going
That
to get
is,
a postseason award. They're going to make sure she gets one.
well, their best
So,
hope is that she doesn't. Anyways, camp
anyway,
has started. This truncated preseason is almost to an end. The WNBA has a new app that seems to be pretty cool. It's especially because their last app was awful. I'm not going
booty
to tell you
cheeks
all about
and
it because I don't
dust.
remember. But if you sign up for the app when it comes out, you get to watch the preseason for free. You get a discount on the WNBA League Pass, and you get a 25% discount on the WNBA store. And I'm low-key thinking about signing up just because I need something that has Angel Reese's
But
name
yes, it's
on
already
it.
active. It's already active on the WNBA app. You can go ahead and log in, and it says my account is now a WNBA ID account, and I can sign in and activate all of my things. So
Yeah.
go activate your stuff, guys.
Yeah, and when does the season start? The season starts soon.
Well, preseason starts like late April.
Preseason is basically here tomorrow. When does the actual season start?
Hold on. I should have it's like May 16th or something. Like the actual regular season. May 8th.
May 8th.
We're
So
almost
around that.
I get to watch real basketball. I'm so excited. Because,
I
like,
don't know
I
that I'm
like
going to be
college
able to
basketball
hear after
because
that.
what? Well, you'll
I
be
don't know
all
that
right.
I'm going to be able to hear again.
You'll be fine. Anyways, I like college basketball because I like to watch the stars before they become like the WNBA girlies. But to me, WNBA is real basketball. Like, and NBA, the Men's National Basketball Association playoff basketball is real basketball. But
Wow.
women's basketball is real basketball all throughout the year, not just during one part of it. So I'm just very, very excited and thrilled and over the moon. But yes, the season will open with the Connecticut Sun versus the Liberty, the Mystics playing the Tempo, and Golden State playing Seattle. Now, unfortunately, the WNBA still has not figured out how to schedule. So
we got a month to talk about that.
I know. I'm just saying. That's the only thing I was just.
We got and all year to yell at the WNBA.
Yes, I'm just unfortunately, they don't know how to schedule. So the first two games I mentioned are at the same time, of course. But at least the next day they figured out how to stagger it. So, there's that.
Welcome to the Power 2 podcast, where we discuss the power of knowing how to schedule your games.
The power of scheduling. It's truly not difficult.
Well, it's not as difficult as they make it seem, but
exactly.
it is not easy. I will say that.
Sure.
Any final thoughts on the WNBA before we move on?
I think I think this is a good way to wrap it up. Is just to come from a couple months ago of being so frustrated and being very convinced that the only way that these women were going to get what they deserved was via a strike. I'm very, very happy that they were able to strike a deal, that I do still get a season, that we get to commemorate the 30th season properly. I hate that it took this amount of fight, of course, but I'm happy that it happened. And I can't stress enough how much it makes my heart happy to see these girls signing 7-figure deals, whether it is millions, whether it is 500, 600, 700, 800, that whatever the number is. I still don't feel like it's high enough, obviously, but it's a start. And that will always make me happy. It makes me so happy to know that AZ Fudd is the highest paid rookie in WNBA history. I think her contract is like $500K. Like, that's what the girls should be coming in and making. And that's it, like, period. I can't wait to watch the season. I can't wait to see how the addition of developmental players is going to be. I can't wait to see how, them being able to have access, most of them having access to adequate facilities is going to be, them having proper travel, proper, support for their families. It's just going to be great. And I'm very excited about it. Plus, the way that the teams have all shuffled around, I think it's going to be a lot of parity as well. And that's going to be fun because it's just going to give any given Sunday every time teams play. So it'll be really fun.
Any given Sunday for anyone that is not the Aces or the Liberty.
But the thing is, I think the competitiveness of the other teams is increased as well. I think the only team that I worry about is the Mystics because they're probably, I think, still on average the youngest team. But like, I feel like a lot of the teams have gotten themselves to a pretty competitive place. Like even Chicago is competitive at this point. Like, who knows how they're all going to work out when they actually get on the floor. But I think that there's going to be competition. Like, it's not going to be like the Aces just rolling over everybody or the New York just rolling over everybody. I think they're going to get a couple of L's where it's like, damn, like, that's just my prediction, is that there's going to be a lot more parity than we think.
How many games they playing this year? 43, 44? Do you remember?
44.
Aces are going to be 38
44.
and 6.
Period. Okay.
And the Liberty's going to be like 38 and 6, 37 and 9, then
I think the
37
Liberty
and
are going to be
7.
30 and 14. I'm not going to lie to you, because the Liberty be dropping games sometimes. I'm not trying to be
Well,
funny.
they have a new coach, so maybe they don't do that. I don't
I
know,
don't know.
Miss
There's so
Sandy.
many
I don't know
changes. I
if
don't
it was
know.
Sandy's fault, but you heard it here first. The Aces will be 38 and 6.
The Aces will be 38 and 6, but here's what I also believe. I also think the Atlanta Dream could be 38 and 6 too.
Yeah,
I think the Atlanta Dream could be 38 and 6.
It's
The Aces could be 38 and 6. The Wings are going to be like 32 and 12 or like 34 and 10. Like, but then we have the Sparks, and I don't know. The Sparks may still be Like, I feel like the teams that are going to be on the bubble are definitely going to be the Mystics, the Sparks, and the Sun on the bubble.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
potentially
Sorry.
not making the playoffs at all. It's
Okay,
kind of more so what I was saying.
I was thinking of that in a different way.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Seattle, I feel like it's going to be like Seattle and Portland, like battling it out for like that last 8 seed. Ciao. Anyways, we'll talk about that when the season starts.
I think Seattle trying to get Juju, but that's a conversation for
Seattle
another day.
might be you right. They might be taking.
Moving forward with our screenplay, we are going to talk about the NBA playoffs. The men do play basketball. It is the only basketball that I'm watching, and I would like to give you a reminder. Most of you probably watch basketball more than me, but if you don't, you should probably watch when the Lakers play, because LeBron is going to retire soon. You do not know when his last game is going to be. And despite the fact that Dante does not believe it and a lot of other people that don't believe it, LeBron does not want a retirement tour. The only way there will be a retirement tour is if someone leaks it. And I think that person therefore gets fired. But I also don't even think you can do a retirement tour, because I don't think he knows when he's going to retire. I genuinely think he's going to get to an end of the season, hopefully this season, but he's going to get to an end of a season and just be done.
Just decide.
He's not going to know going into the year. And so I have decided, because I almost never watch first round games, I have decided to watch if not all of the Lakers games, because this could be LeBron's last season. So
you know what would be really funny? They should do what the Mercury were doing with DT. They should just start doing like, if this is the last time, and like that's how they're like promoting everything. Oh my gosh, that was so funny, but it was also like kind of brilliant, because they weren't wrong. It kind of was the last time, because she just announced her retirement on the Tuesday afternoon after the season was over. So
and for those of you who don't believe me, Kobe regretted his tour. LeBron and other people have talked to Kobe about it when he was still here and was like, that doesn't sound that fun. Like, that it is not a thing that a lot of people want. Kobe did not like it. He said that himself. It's not. There have been enough people who've done retirement tours for these people like DT to be able to make that decision for themselves. Anyways, we are not going to tell you every game. This is just the games that we are interested in. Also, by the games, you can also kind of see the series. We're not going to tell you when all the games are. So, Tuesday, the day that this drops, you should watch Philly-Boston. I don't know why you should watch that. DJ, can you tell them why you should watch that? Because I don't care about this one.
Boston. It's really more about Boston. A lot of people. I'm not going to suggest that you watch the entire Philly-Boston series unless you just really love Tyrese Maxey. I don't know. But other than that, like, Boston is one of those quote unquote teams to watch because they only have so much more time. They only have so much time left with Jason and Jaylen Brown on the same team. So if you're invested in Boston's journey to the finals, you will watch it.
I have not been invested.
I don't
in
give a damn
that
either.
Boston
respectfully,
ever cares about.
But
Personally, this
I don't give a
show
damn either. I'm just saying, in the NBA ecosystem, they have a storyline.
This is
that
not
should
an
be
NBA ecosystem podcast.
I know that.
This
I'm
is
just
the
saying,
Power 2
we
podcast,
have to cater to the people who are interested in the
hey.
NBA. That would be sacrilegious to not mention Boston. I'm sorry.
Says who?
People who are interested in the NBA. Neither one of us, but
call me sacrilegious. Speaking of I don't like the way that sounds, but speaking of SA San Antonio,
right.
Well, sacrilegious starts with an S and an A. It didn't work out.
No,
it didn't work out.
It's okay. You tried.
Speaking of San Antonio, oh God, Wemby's an alien. He shouldn't exist. He does dumb things that he shouldn't be able to do in his dumb little body, which is a big body, and it just looks so dumb, but it is
Big
so
hater
good.
energy. Oh my
Well,
God.
like,
oh
and to
my
be
God.
clear,
You
I
hate
do
him.
not. No, hold on. I don't. I actually
Oh
don't
my God.
dis-
He said he is stupid and he looks
I
stupid and his body
actually,
is stupid and his
I
limbs are
actually
stupid.
do not dislike Wemby, but I don't like watching him play because it all just looks like, what is
Stupid?
going on? Like, it does look dumb. Like, literally, bro, like, tween, went behind his back, spun, almost fell, but he's so tall, it was still a dunk, and it was like the ugliest move I've ever seen in my life, but it was so effective, and he like slipped and fell into a dunk because he's so tall. He like, it looks like he's playing out of control, but it's just that his limbs are too long for the things that he's doing. Like, he can't control his limbs, but the ball is low key on a string. And so it is such
It
weird,
stays in his hand.
it's a weird thing to watch because like, his limbs, it's just weird. It's just weird, but he's so good. He's very good. So
He
watch
is
him
not real.
versus like, what are we talking
I
about?
love it though. I'm sorry. I've been itching for a new star. As much as I am a fan of LeBron at this point, a fan of Steph, KD, all of those guys, the NBA will not be the same without them. Yakety, yakety, yakety. I
But
am
please,
happy to see.
move on.
Correct. I am happy to see these young guys really shine, even with them still in the league, such as, and I know how people feel about SGA. I understand all of that ethical, whether his was ethical or unethical is not really my concern. But I'm just saying, I personally think that he has a very silky game when he's not foul baiting all the damn time. And then also Wemby and even Cooper and just Anthony Edwards, like just the young guys really shining. I'm here for it. So, watching the first round of playoffs is just not going to be entertaining. Let's keep it real. Most of these tournaments are going to be sweeps, or most of these series, going to be sweeps, which is why the NBA needs to. But Wemby is great, and it is fun. He is fun to watch.
Yeah, I already explained the Houston LA because of LeBron of it all, but also KD keeps missing games. I saw one thing that said he was out for the playoffs. I saw another thing that said he was questionable for game 2. I don't know which one is true, but if KD does not play, LeBron may make it out of the first round. All of those games are on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you should watch Orlando-Detroit. I believe that this is the one where Orlando shocked Detroit by winning the first game.
They won the first
that
game.
may
Yes.
not matter. It could just be a 5 sweep. They could win the next 4, but that is a sort of kind of like spicy game, and also Cade Cunningham is just fun to watch. Like who doesn't want to watch Cade? Paulo Banchero is actually fun to watch as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of like young guys, like this is like like there should be a difference, right? Like Detroit should win this series, but it's just a battle of young guys. And then on Thursday we have Denver, Minnesota.
This is a crime that this is in the first round. I'm telling you right now, this is a crime. Last year, I believe it was the Western Championship. So this being the first round
was it?
I think it was. It was the championship in the last like couple years. It has been the championship.
No, it couldn't have been the championship because the Thunder won the championship. So like they had to be in that Western Conference.
No,
Finals.
the year that the Thunder didn't make it that far. Then that had to be like 2023, 2020.
Yeah.
Before,
so this was
in between the time that the Thunder went to the finals and the Mavs went to the finals. It was in between that time. It had to have been. There was one point where the Western Conference Finals was Denver and Minnesota.
Wasn't that back-to-back years? The Mavs went last year, 2 years ago,
No,
right?
we went in 2020. I still lived in the colony. We went in 2023.
So who the hell went in 2024? Was that Denver? Is that the year you're talking about?
That might have been that year. There was 1 year in between.
No.
Let's look it up. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, because Minnesota hasn't been to the Western Conference Finals twice, and they definitely went to the Western Conference Finals against Luka. So they've played, but it wasn't in the finals.
I could have swore.
I think they played that year to play Luka in the Western Conference
2024
Finals.
Western semis.
Yeah.
Listen, we're not an NBA podcast. The fucking point is, it's a crime that this is in the first round. This is a crime, but it is really, really fun. Watching Denver and Minnesota play is always fun to me personally, because there is just some beef there that I just love, and they have it all year. Like, it is something that really does. It is a real rivalry. It really permeates throughout the entire year. I feel like in the NBA, a lot of times there's rivalries that only really feel like a rivalry during playoffs. Denver versus Minnesota feels like a rivalry the whole year. So watch that series just because it's going to be fairly intense for a first round series. Like, if you're looking for intense basketball, that's what it's going to give. I just hate that one of them has to be knocked out so early. I actually really kind of hate that.
I
But
don't.
I hate it just
Send that
because, like, to
send
me,
that man to
they're.
his horses where he wants to be.
Oh, you talking about Nicholas?
Yeah, send that man to his horses.
Also, we just have to just look at my cat.
Send that
She's
man
like,
to his
somebody
horses.
open the damn door, please.
Nah, it should be all right.
She'll be okay.
We're almost done. To wrap it up, that is our screenplay. To wrap it up, our last 2-minute report, this name will be changing eventually. I'm going to go first because it is not sports related, and then you can end on a sports related thing.
Oh,
If any of you like books, if you like nonfiction books, if you like sociology leaning books, I've read one of the better books that I've ever read in this genre, right? I'm not going to compare
the
it to
genre that you just
nonfiction. I'm not going to
described.
compare it to fiction books, but it's one of the best books that I've read. It's called The Privileged Poor. And it looks at the differences of groups of students in college, and it basically talks about how colleges fail students by grouping them together and by saying like all low income students are this, when that is not the case. Because of social capital and because of other things, students are better prepared for college based on where they go to high school and things like that. And so it basically looks at poor students who went to public school, poor students who went to private schools, and then upper income students at like a really elite institution. And it just looks at their differences and how, in some cases, certain of the low income students are privileged, i.e. the privileged poor. Meanwhile, others are doubly disabled. And then the other thing it looks at is how even still these schools reproduce society and make poor students feel bad for being poor. Which is one of the most egregious things that I've ever heard of in my entire life, is one of the best paying jobs on campus is having students clean dorms for other students.
Yeah, that's
So
bullshit.
therefore you have your lower income students who are working this job because it's the best paying job on campus, having to go into the dorms of their upper income students and clean.
Gross.
So, yeah, and it's a very good book if you like books of this variety, but also I really liked it because it spoke to my experience, especially where I work, which I probably said on here, but I won't be continuing to say, where I work and things like that, and where I go to school. So it's a really good book if you're interested in things like that. And if you're not, and you want to try something new, at least once a month, I'm on here talking about reading because the kids can't read and we need them to be able to read. And for them to read, you have to read. You have to model that for the children that you have and or hope to have in the future. And if you read, then you can read to them, and reading and reading and reading and reading. We need to be able to read.
Reading is what? Fundamental. Well, my
This podcast likes the fundamentals. Stop playing.
period.
The power of the fundamentals.
That's the name of the show. So my 2-minute warning is about The Moment, which is a documentary on Tubi. It is based on Dawn Staley's career, but really it's more of a love letter to just the history of women's basketball. It was absolutely fantastic. I watched it a couple days ago. Highly, highly recommend. If you are a new women's basketball fan, you want a crash course in the history, you got an hour of time to spend. I would 100% recommend it. If you've been, a fan of the league for a while, but you just want to watch a documentary that is celebratory of Dawn Staley, I would highly recommend it. It was fantastic. It was really cool because it's not a documentary about Dawn Staley, really. It's actually using Dawn Staley's career as an anchoring point to tell the history of women's basketball because she's lived through all the eras. So, she came up being on an elite Virginia team when women's basketball was getting nationally broadcast. And then she goes to the 1996 Olympic team that kind of was the trampoline that got the WNBA started. Then she played in the ABL, which was one of the first women's basketball leagues before the WNBA. And then she got to the WNBA, and now she's a legendary coach where she's also watching the women's basketball game grow just in general from college to professional. So her career has kind of spanned alongside the growth of the game. And so it was really cool to watch them use her career as like the orientation for all the different elements of women's basketball history. So it was really good. And it was very candid, which I also appreciate. And I'm just going to leave it at that with Candid.
We love that. Well, speaking of Candid, the Power 2 podcast is always candid.
Period.
The Power 2 podcast is always real. And that's it. That is the show. We'll be back next week. Next week we will be a more NFL heavy show because this show is whiplash. You listen, you never know. Okay, don't do that.
I'm just kidding.
You listen, you never know what we're gonna talk about. As always, we thank you for listening. Please follow the show on YouTube at Power 2 Podcast. Sorry, that is not it. At
Get Defensive Sports
Sports
Network.
Network. Follow us on Instagram at Get Defensive Sports Network. Follow us on TikTok at GD Sports Network.
No, it's
Follow
sports.
us
It's Get Defensive SN now.
follow us on TikTok at Get Defensive SN, because TikTok is they restrict what you can do. There's a limit on your handle, so it can't match all the other ones. Follow us all the places. Make your friends follow us all the places. This show gets better and better every single year. This network gets better and better every year. And I'm trying to bring this back because we need a better way to follow the show. Please remember, don't get defensive.
Oh, that's so cute.